He has said no. He said, I wish he would drop dead. I'd honestly be disappointed if the author actually made them a pairing by the end. Like, no, commit to him just, like, not liking her the whole way. What type of, life did you have that you want to beat the living shit out of your mother? Took me a minute, but I got there in the end on what he actually meant, because she's, the power scaling of this world. Oh my god. You know, in a way, Mom just kind of said, hey, you've always been such a loser without skills, so I learned how to be a loser like you. Wow. Wow, that bitch is gonna grow up to be a massive bitch. Oh, from their battle. Oh, this poor bastard, he thinks, because he saw a giant explosion in all the trees, he thinks there's monsters running amok. It's just these psychos. So probably by the end of this episode, he's gonna be able to do some shit with, mana, but at least they're showing that he's actually working for it. Like, do we really need, like, multiple eps? 6 months? I thought it was gonna be, like, a couple weeks, to be honest. If we're saying this man trained for 6 months to get his OP magic, I'm here for it. They covered their ass. This is the dumbest content you could watch this season, but I can't deny I have fun. It's like ordering McDonald's, man. You shouldn't only live on McDonald's, but McDonald's does taste good. And even if you had it once a week, it's not going to kill you. Maybe it's not good for you, but it's not going to kill you. And it's like, sometimes we all need to enjoy a little fast food, you know? At this point, I think Hero Without a Class is best described as the McDonald's of anime, or insert whatever fast food you can stomach. And I don't honestly say this as an insult. I'm just being like, objectively to my truth here, I don't think this is an amazing anime. Like, if I really take back just my base level enjoyment, it has a mid-production value, sometimes pretty good, but like it's below average to average more often than not. The characters are pretty one note. Granted, I like the notes they have, but one note. And, you know, it's dumb the more you think about it. But is that necessarily an issue? And I think for some people, they would answer, yes, everything needs to be the best of the best. That's why we're so angry about everything that isn't completely perfect. And then there'll be other people who say, no, I don't really care. Like, I'm not going to just only consume McDonald's, but yeah, once a week, I don't really feel that awful eating McDonald's because I like the taste of a Big Mac. And, you know, because unlike the average American, I actually have fiber in my diet, I don't get diarrhea when I eat stuff like Taco Bell. Looking at this episode, number 6, there was moments that had me concerned. Like when they were establishing that, hey, our boy was going to beat his mother. I was like, no, that would be wrong because she's the power scaling of this world. She's obviously not putting up a fight, so he won't win against her. And then he did, but then they're like, hey, she wasn't even at full strength. And honestly, I'm 100% convinced if she was trying to kill her son, she would have won. I don't think he would have won that. I think it's very much a case of, hey, imagine like all the stories we've seen where it's like, hey, you beat Sensei. It's like Sensei's only going 30 or 40%. If Sensei was actually going for a killing blow, you bitch ass probably would have died. That's how I feel anyway. The way they explained how he randomly got mana again, it's dumb. He's like, yeah, I was popping back a bunch of expired potions and eventually I felt a tingling inside. And they're like, okay, well, I never taught you magic because you had no mana. Now you have mana. It's going to take you a bit. 6 months later. He at least trained for it, right? And it's just like everything that this show does is not anywhere close to being the magnum opus of this year. That you're going to leave saying, oh my god, this is the greatest thing ever. You might leave this show saying this is one of the most enjoyable shows I've watched this year. You could. Hell, I will admit, this is one of the most enjoyable shows I'm watching every week. But I do consider it McDonald's slop. It's just like, it knows what it wants to be. And I think that's where the real difference is. Shows that try to be better than they are and pretend that like they're going to have this like, oh, Mushoku Tensei level world building and stuff, but then just like do stuff like this. You're like, okay, clearly you're trying to set up all these extra things and you do nothing with it. The execution leaves so much to be desired. Versus a show that says, hey, here's MC. MC is already stunned by his life growing up. Mom was the devil, basically. You know, loves her, but like, in terms of power, the devil. His sister relationships, you bring home a woman and they call her a cow because God forbid she has a chest. The overly, like, obsessive nature broke him to the point that, like, I'm pretty sure half of the reason our boy left home to begin with was to get away from his sisters. And I'm 100% convinced the entire reason he went back home in this episode was to get away from his stalker, who completely reminds him of his sisters. It's just a nonstop cycle of trying to leave for milk and just somehow always ending back up in one situation or another. But it's just like, the show's confident that it's dumb. Like so many of the interactions, I feel like if you were to truly ask the author who wrote this, were you trying to make a masterpiece? I would probably suspect they would say something along the lines of, I just like the general hero stories and I wanted to make something funny. They're not going to say, oh yeah, I wanted to make slop. No, they would just be like, hey, I just wanted to make something dumb and fun. There was just a lot of funny ideas, and that's why I like it. It might sound like I'm shitting on this, but I'm really not. I'm just saying, this show is not Sonda. This show is not To Your Eternity. Those are shows that I think are amazingly produced. They have great writing, and it's just like, this show, despite not being anywhere close to what will be my favorite anime of this year, at least for this anime season, is becoming one of my favorite shows I watch every week. Because you'll have moments like last episode where the dude essentially defeats the Demon Lord by episode 5. And then by episode 6, he apparently outpower skills the most powerful character in the world, which, like I said, I still think there's room for him to be better. It's just, yeah, mom a little rusty, and also she's not gonna, completely try to cut off her son's head. Maybe in the future, we'll see how things develop. And honestly, it's just the comedy. It's the fact that Reiner came with us, and just like the fact that mom like completely loves her. And it's so stupid because her dad's like, yes, be taught by her how to be a proper woman. And mom's like, yes, I'll teach you. It's like, ma'am, you're acting like you're a 1930s housewife, but you also are stronger than any man in this household. What are you doing with yourself? It's dumb, it's fun, it's the McDonald's slop of the season for me. And there's a lot of like mid-slop shows you'll watch where it's like, hey, you don't feel bad enjoying them. They're not so god-awful that there's no redeeming qualities. But there's a lot of those shows that don't really excel because they try to do too many things, where I feel like this show, it has a few things in mind. We want to make the MC busted beyond belief, but at least have enough things covered up that you don't think it's just like plot convenience is the reason he wins or always learns things. You have funny interactions, and honestly, you have the uncertainty of where a story like this can go when you already eliminate the threats that would normally be the driving story factor of a series like this. I like it. Like, in terms of enjoyment, it's like an 8 or 9 out of 10. If I'm looking at it objectively, if I consider, lack of production value and a lot of different things, like maybe it's like a solid 6.5, 7. Because there's other elements to anime than just story writing quality and stuff like that. You gotta consider everything. And, sometimes the art and the lack of animation can bring it down, but it's like, it's enjoyable. It's like, things don't have to be 10 out of 10 perfect for me. That's why I watch so much stuff and have fun. But it's like, I don't know, there are people who just want everything to be the best of the best, and I get it to a degree, but man, I wouldn't discover stuff like Osa Newbie Adventurer if I only watched the Demon Slayer production values of an anime season. And I like those shows more than Demon Slayer, so you see why I do this. Let me know your thoughts down below. What fast food restaurant chain do you think this show is? I'd say McDonald's, because I like a Big Mac every now and again, but you let me know yours. Drop a like, share, support, subscribe if you're new on your Patrons, where you catch this full live reactions, all this and more. And hey, I also like to give video shoutouts to my patrons. Alright, so today we got a Lunar, Ben Liu, DJ Samuel, Taco Tuesday, X Nico, Pokemon 222, 888, Crowley AC, The Gentleman, and we also have Derek Nichols. I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you'll have a good one.